Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We are live in Abuja. Thank you for joining us. I am Olajide Bello. First, the headlines. National protest enters day 3. Correspondents bring situation reports. Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa says military will not fold its arms and watch destruction of lives and property. Vice President Kashim Shettima declares 2024 African Caucus meeting open, says Nigeria is undertaking bold economic policies to propel Nigeria's economy.
It's one of the things, creativity and hope. We have made significant strides in recent years in many of our nations achieving national economic growth.
It is day 3 of the nationwide protest here in the capital city of Abuja, and we have our correspondent Joseph Hudson standing at one of the protest grounds, the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, to bring us up to speed with activities at the moment. Hello, Joseph. What is the situation at your present location?
Okay, this is day 3 at the NKO Abiola Stadium, the designated place for the protesters to converge here in Abuja. Yesterday the Minister of the FCT re-emphasized that the protests should be restricted here. They are equally restricted outside the stadium, just outside the gate of the stadium. The reasons are out there. The security reports indicate that some hoodlums may want to take advantage of the protests to unleash mayhem and, if possible, loot property. So the restriction is outside the gate of the Moshood Abiola Stadium. Already some protesters have started arriving. I can see pockets of them, 10 to 20 in number. Journalists are also around, and the security is also beefing up. There are about 10 trucks of security vans who are out there to ensure there's a peaceful protest out here. One of the key things I noticed is that the protesters that are showing up here today are younger, just like yesterday. They are younger, and yesterday we had lesser number than the first day. As for now, this time around, yesterday we had more protesters. Now we have a bit less, so we don't know what may happen. And most of them are younger. Yesterday, when they came around, they were very agitative. But the security personnel did a good job. They tried as much as possible to calm them down, control them down, and some of them were furious because they were like dispersed at the Beggar Junction. So when they came up here, they were very, very agitative and furious. But the security did a very good job. They controlled the situation, and then the more matured ones among them also tried to calm down and control things here, ensure that there is a free flow of traffic. So that is the situation here. But within the town too, when we were coming around, there were police patrol, there are patrol vehicles from the security personnel who are also going around to check. Some of them have moved here and then drove away again, and then continue this also like that in town. You can see vehicles for preventive purpose. They are carrying leaves along with them and so on. So that's the situation so far.
All right, many thanks, our correspondent Joseph Hudson there at the MKO Abiola National Stadium. Thanks for your input. And still on day 3 of the nationwide protest, more business is open along Dutse-Alaji Kubwa axis of the Federal Capital Territory. NTA correspondent Charles Arthur reports that black marketers are back on the streets while the roads remain relatively free. As at the time of sending this report, security personnel were still mounting and keeping watch at strategic locations. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, says the military will not fold its arms and watch the destruction of lives and property in the ongoing nationwide protest. The Chief of Defense Staff said this while addressing journalists at the ongoing nationwide protest, stressing that peace and development cannot be achieved in a state of anarchy.
Clearly, the security forces have done extremely very well, especially the Nigerian police force, have shown a lot of professionalism, including where members of the armed forces had to step in. But you can see that we have remained very professional in our conduct and will continue to do that, as long as the citizens also understand that there's a difference between peace and criminality. We are supporting the police all through, but we're just on standby. The police is doing a good job. They're handling the situation for now. And unless if it breaks beyond what they can handle, then the military will step in. And the military is on standby and we're watching day and night.
General Christopher Musa commended the police and other security agencies for their conduct during the protest. Kano Police Command has arrested 392 suspects in connection with the violent protest in the state. The State Police Public Relations Officer Abdullahi Haruna Kiyawa disclosed this to newsmen at the command headquarters. Abdullahi Mustafa has details.
The protest in Kano was hijacked by hoodlums who engaged in destruction and looting. This led to declaration of 24-hour curfew by the state government and arrest of 392 suspects by the police. A variety of looted items were also recovered.
This exhibit also includes what you are seeing here today, 2 AK-47 rifles that were looted from the Audubako Secretariat High Court complexes. They were able to be recovered by the police during the arrest of these looters.
The command also investigates some social media posts questioning the arrests and recoveries made by the police.
These despicable acts are calculated attempts by enemies of the peace to tarnish the reputable image of the Nigerian police. These images showing suspects and exhibits are linked to the current incidents resulting from the ongoing August 2024 nationwide protest and have no relation in whatsoever with any incident in the year 2011.
SP Kiyawa also urged parents to return to nearby police stations looted items found with their children. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And now let's join our correspondent Aminu Omar from Kano to give us update from that area. Hello Aminu, we understand that the Kano State government has declared curfew in the state in view of the violent protest in the area. Give us details about the curfew. Has it been relaxed?
Okay, good morning from Kano. Yes, actually the curfew was imposed on the first day of the protest. That is just a few moments to the sunset, and today is the third day. Although I may say it's not so rigid, looking at the flexibility of the curfew, because people are just, there is no vehicular movement though, but people are seen around their area coming out to look for one thing or another. And yesterday being the Friday, people were able to observe their Friday prayer in their various mosques, although there was no vehicular movement because of the restrictions on the roads. There are checkpoints mounted by the Nigeria Police Force, and wherever one is going, most especially on the major roads in Kano, you will see policemen strategically located. And as they've started since on that day, in some commercial areas, you see some deployment on the areas to protect the properties from the hoodlums that started attacking. What I would say now is that Kano is calm, and the curfew is still in force, and also people are abiding by the restrictions of movement. It's only when you enter into the residential areas that you see people coming out to look for one thing or another. This is to remind us that Nigeria's economic subsector is dominated by informal businesses where people rely on their daily bread. So now people are now being forced to come out to look for food. As I'm coming to the office, I understand that the market, that is the vegetable market in Yankaba, that is Nasarawa local government, has opened, not in its usual congestion as market, but marketers are selling the basic vegetables for people to take to their various locations. And you know, their market is perishable. This is why they have to come out. And now all the mostly people that you see on motorbike, like the one I'm seeing just now, is carrying an onion and some other vegetables. So this is how and what is happening right now in Kano.
Many thanks. Aminu, just before I let you go, after the curfew was imposed, has there been any form of presence of protesters noticed anywhere around Kano?
Actually, we have not seen any protests or protesters coming out. It's only that I heard in some parts of Nasarawa local government, some people came out, but not in the numbers. And mostly, you only see them on social media. They will come out and take pictures and then they disperse. So that one, I think we cannot call them protesters. It's only visible on the social media.
Many thanks, our correspondent there, Aminu Umar from Kano, for keeping us up to speed with events as they unfold. Many thanks for your input. Moving on, the Minister of State for Labour and Employment in Kirukan, Yejiocha, has urged protesters to call off the nationwide exercise as she commiserated with the families of those who lost their lives in the process. The minister briefed journalists in Abuja, where she explained that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a leader, has a listening ear and is working assiduously to address the issues raised by the protesters. She reeled out some of the steps already taken by the president to improve the lives of Nigerians.
It's quite unfortunate that these things has to happen that way. I plead that we should sheath our sword and embrace peace and stop at this moment. The president has had everybody loud and clear. You see, he's done a lot of things, starting from few days ago that 70 days minimum wage bill was signed into law, meaning he's gone ahead to make sure that the CNG is also coming on board. The other day, the FEC approved that the petroleum products, the transaction will be dealt in Naira. The president announced injection of 2 trillion into the economy to be spent in 6 months for rapid stabilization. Of course, the country have secured a landmark victory on local government autonomy, which will help the local government system.
For job vacancies in the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited as historic and as part of President Tinubu's commitment to ensure transparency and fair play in employment opportunities in the country. You're watching the news at 10 on NEWS24. More reports and return.
Nigeria, a land of rich culture and diverse voices, where every voice matters. In times of disagreement, let's choose dialogue over discord. Together, we can find solutions through understanding and respect. Let's build a stronger Nigeria, one conversation at a time. Dialogue, not protest. Unity, not division. Nigeria, united in dialogue.
Many thanks for being there. The People's Democratic Party has enjoined Nigerians to remain peaceful and law-abiding in the pursuit of improved living conditions. Timothy Yusuf reports that the party's spokesperson on behalf of the leadership also urged those participating in the End Bad Governance protests ongoing in some parts of the country to shun all forms of violence, as it would be counterproductive.
The party's national spokesperson, Debo Oluguagba, on behalf of the leadership, appealed to the ongoing End Bad Governance protesters to go about their actions peacefully and must be devoid of violence and destruction of public infrastructure. The PDP further appealed to government to consider some policy reviews and channel resources to provide food and essential commodities to Nigerians.
We must sustain the rule of law.
In the meantime, members of the Joy Youth Council and Coalition of Niger Delta groups on behalf of the South-South geopolitical zone have said no to the ongoing nationwide protest, describing it as counterproductive. They admonished Nigerians to eschew violence and give President Tinubu's administration maximum support to deliver its lofty programs aimed at improving the well-being of the citizenry.
We are aware that the administration inherited an economic challenges in need of urgent, bold and imaginative reforms. While admitting that the reforms being undertaken by Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration had resulted in temporary hardship, but we know that the government is providing the leadership policies needed to lead Nigeria to economic prosperity. This is one of our strong beliefs in Mr. President that the policies he's put in place are going to yield the needed results for economic prosperity.
They assured all appointees of President Tinubu of their maximum support towards the success of government programs. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And we now move to Dutse, where we are being joined by our correspondent, Ali Adamu. Thanks, Ali Adamu, for joining us. Very quickly, what is the situation in Jigawa State? And of course, you talk about the curfew too.
Hello, good morning. I'm here at Sani Abacha Road, one of the major roads in Dutse, Jigawa State capital. As you can see, the curfew was imposed by the state government on Thursday, and up to now the curfew is still on. No vehicular movement. Every place is calm and silent.
Ali Adamu, ever since the curfew was imposed, has there been any form of engagement between maybe the protesters and, the state government?
As it is now, the police commissioner has invited stakeholders, including journalists, for a meeting at 11 a.m. Maybe during that meeting, something regarding the curfew will be announced.
Many thanks, Ali Adamu, our correspondent from Dutse, for keeping us up to speed. The Nigerian government is undertaking bold economic policies to propel the country's economy out of the downturns occasioned by multiple shocks in the global economy. President Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, stated this when he declared open the 2024 African Caucus meeting in Abuja. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
We invite you in this meeting to see the African mandatory financial institutions as key channels for enhanced domestic resource mobilization.
This meeting with representatives from all Africa member countries of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank Group aims to address key economic issues facing the continent with a focus on promoting trade within Africa to foster sustainable development. Nigeria called for cooperation among African countries to tackle their shared economic challenges and take advantage of the opportunities.
This focus offers a vital platform for us to share experiences, forge partnerships, and charge a collective path forward. Africa's story is one of resilience, creativity, and hope. Indeed, we have made significant strides in recent years, with many of our nations achieving remarkable economic growth, social progress, and political stability.
Facilitating intra-African trade, catalyst for sustainable development in Africa, countries on the continent must take necessary measures to translate opportunities in natural resources and human capital into growth, innovation, and collaboration.
It's time to tackle the root causes, and much of that lies in the international financial architecture. Access to our economies must be had to long-term concessional funding. Others have had it, and it is Africa's turn to be given that right to grow and to prosper for its people. We have the opportunity to drive change, and by doing so, progress towards a vibrant and sustainable future.
The role of regional trading blocs can play in getting member countries to synchronize their reforms and investments necessary to boost intra-continental trade. While these strategies are recommendable, it is important that we move beyond theoretical discussions and actively translate them into tangible actions.
The demographics of Africa present tremendous economic potential that must be cultivated to take advantage, particularly of intra-African trade opportunities, and to transform and develop our economies and our region.
This is also an opportunity to brainstorm on major challenges and strategies for fostering inclusive growth and sustainable development in Africa, reflecting the collective commitment of member countries to moving the continent forward economically. In Abuja, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
African finance ministers and central bank governors are confident that leveraging the African Continental Free Trade Area (AfCFTA) and clean energy transition are pivotal tools for accelerated development. Musa Abubakar reports that this resolve is driving conversations for shared prosperity and re-globalization at the 2024 Africa Caucus meeting in Abuja.
It's the first time that Nigeria is hosting the Africa Caucus meeting, and the focus this year for these finance ministers, central bank governors, and development partners is advancing development of the continent through trade. At the heart of discussion is the quest to address critical issues such as strengthening Pan-African payment ecosystems, enhancing connectivity, ensuring energy access, and advancing trade facilitation within a just and equitable transition framework.
As monetary authorities, we have the responsibility to formulate policies that enhance trade amongst countries on the continent. We can achieve this by fostering a financial landscape that encourages collaborative research and development to support our industries and generate economic wealth.
One is the need to reduce the cost of borrowing and enhancing access to finance, and also harmonizing policies among ourselves and ensuring that the voices of Africa are heard at the table.
With effective trade reforms, I believe the continent could be poised for an era of stronger and more sustainable growth, with regional and global trade playing important propulsive roles.
Beyond trade and equitable international representation, the meeting is addressing other critical issues, including climate change and digital transformation.
We are consciously and acutely aware of the fact that we have to move beyond just introducing a legal text for intra-Africa trade.
The aim is to foster a unified African voice and create actionable strategies that will drive the continent forward. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Now to sports. Nigerian Chukwuebuka Onyekwechi is qualified for the men's shot put final for the second consecutive Olympic Games. He achieved a best throw of 21.13 meters, placing 5th in Group B and 9th overall in the qualification round. In the women's discus qualification group, Ashley Anumba made her Olympic debut, throwing a mark of 58.83 meters to finish 14th in her group. Another Nigerian, Rosemary Chukwuma, secured her place in the semi-finals of the women's 100 meters by finishing 3rd in her heat with a time of 11.26 seconds. And that concludes the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Olajide Bello.